So I talked about how we should be reading at an appropriate rate, not too fast and not too slow, so we uh, are able to see the punctuation, periods, commas, exclamation points, question marks, and be able to use those to say our lines correctly or to read correctly. So the next part would be reading at at a good volume. So using our voice to read loudly enough, but not too loud. So an example, if I were to read It's So Hot in a very low voice like this, it's so hot, I'm melting, we're melting too. Look at Golly, he's panting. I have good news. My mom said she'll drive us to the beach. I can't really hear, and you guys can't really hear me. And then if I read this reading in a different voice, like, it's so hot, I'm melting. We're melting too. Look at Golly, he's panting. That's too loud. That's silly. It's you don't need to read that loud. Make sure that when you're reading, you read at a comfortable volume where I can hear you, where someone that's sitting next to you can hear you, and you can hear yourself. So if you read it like, it's so hot, I'm melting. We're melting too. Look at Golly, he's panting. I have good news. My mom said she'll drive us to the beach. It's easier for me to hear myself. It's easier for you to hear me and for you to understand what I'm saying. If I'm reading it in a low voice where I can't hear or you can't hear, you're not going to be able to understand what the story is about. And if you're reading it too loud, it's not comfortable to be hearing that. So when we post our videos, let's make sure we are reading it at an appropriate rate. So we are reading it not too fast or not too slow, at the same pace that we read normally. And then we don't read it out loud, like super, super loud, but we also don't mumble it. We read it enough for us to be able to hear it and for whoever's sitting next to us can hear it. So then when we have the video, I can hear you and I can understand what you're saying. If you have any questions, you can let your parents know so they can tell me. Other than that, that is the end of our reading lesson. And you can go back to listen to It's So Hot again, or you can go ahead and start reading it on your own and upload that video. Bye. See you guys.